Today on the Lesley and Lisa show, we're going to talk about weight and fitness and diet. Oh my.
And it's just us. So join us so that it's not just us. Okay?
Welcome to the Lesley and Lisa show.
Hey, welcome to the Lesley and Lisa show. As always, we're going to talk about anything and everything because nothing is off limits. Lisa, out of the corner of my eye, I didn't see you shimmying.
Oh,
you always go like this.
You know why? Because my dog's on my lap and I'm afraid to disturb him.
So you're going to do the entire show with your dog on your lap?
Until my leg falls asleep.
All right, good.
Yeah, he's very calm. I
love it.
Happy New Year.
Oh, Happy New Year. Crazy.
It's crazy. 2021. All right, I wanted to tell everybody really quick before we get into the meat of the show. I wanted to tell everyone.
Interesting choice of words. Okay, go ahead. Just considering we're talking about diet.
Totally. Maybe that's why I went there subconsciously. I want to tell you all, and I'll tell you all again at the end, but to please, if you're enjoying the show, subscribe to our channel, like the videos, comment because we want to hear from you. And please join our Facebook page, the Lesley and Lisa Show After Party, because I know it's
who doesn't love an after party?
Everyone loves an after party except for me. I usually go home and go to sleep. But please join because once we get a big group there, we're going to start doing some really fun stuff. We don't know what yet, but I know if we promise you,
we need more than 2 people there if we want to go live, right?
We have 40 something.
Oh, well then we should go live. See how much I look at stuff? Whatever.
Okay. I got it.
I love, not only do I love the after party, I like the after party because I'm a gamer. I just keep going.
You're a game. That's what, see,
I call myself a gamer. I'm like willing to go, like you say, hey, you know, we're done. It's 3:00 in the morning. Let's all go home. And somebody goes, no, let's go. I'm thinking New York. Let's go to one of those, you know, underground bars where we can go there and be there all night. Okay.
You will say okay to that.
Yeah. And I've come out of a bar at 7:00 in the morning and you're like.
I did that stuff. Although for me, it was more like Denny's and 3 cups of coffee at 4 a.m. and then going home to like watch something like after working at TGI Fridays all night.
Right.
But I am not an after party girl. I
keep going.
I can't wait to get my makeup off and put on sweatpants and sit on the couch or go to bed.
Oh, don't get me wrong. The goal used to be let's get home and get the bra off. But see, now I don't even wear a bra, so it's like I'm always.
So now you can party.
I'm always cozy. I can go out all night long.
It's just about the bra.
And for most women, it is a lot about the bra.
I guess
it really is a goal. Let me get it off.
I just get to a point where I can't talk to people anymore. Okay, so we're going to talk about,
you know what? Because so obviously Lisa and I've told you that we are always talking. And so this afternoon before we were recording, I was on the Peloton, Lisa was on the Peloton, and I was discussing should we do it today? Because I got on the Peloton really late and I'm like, I'm going to have enough time to get in the shower and like not even do my hair. Which I didn't, which is why it's up. And anyways,
it's so cute. Fine. Stop.
Yeah, you can see all my roots. Can't wait to do that. Anyways, so I got off the Peloton, was panting and sweating, got in the shower, came out, did not wash my hair, still panting and sweating, and texted Lisa. And I was like, you know what? Because Lisa is she is part of one of the reasons why I try and get on my Peloton. Well, I'm the reason why I'm getting on the Peloton.
Yes, you are.
Inspire me to get on the Peloton because you get on every day. So I had texted Lisa and I was like, why don't we talk about diet and fitness and weight, etc. I could go on about this subject forever. In particular, I could talk about weight.
Sure. And we should. I think it's a really important thing to talk about. And I just want to say that I like that we're talking about this today because it's the new year. Yep. And what 99% of people do is it's a new year. I'm going to make all these goals.
Everybody's resolution is to lose weight and get healthy, whatever.
And there's nothing wrong with that. But what I learned for me is that true change does not come with a day or a date or a goal.
No.
It can't be, I need to lose 25 pounds before my wedding, or I want to lose this much weight before the new year. It has to be, I want to start being a healthier person.
Right.
Period.
That's it.
And that's the goal.
So that was my goal. as I was chowing down, I don't know what, and drinking, I don't know
Oh
what.
my God.
I
But
don't
by the
know.
way, that's important. I
Yeah, we
cheated
don't have
like
to do that.
you have to.
So while I was doing that, I was thinking, come the new year, and I'm not going to say like January 1, I never do that to myself, but come this week, I was like, exercising, trying to at least get on the Peloton 5 days a week, and just trying to adjust my diet to be healthier. I eat fairly well. I'm pretty healthy on the whole, but I can make tons of changes. And so for me, that first one, because I'm not going to say I'm going to be gluten-free and dairy-free and sugar-free. If I go all like balls to the wall like that, I will fail. I'm just setting myself up for failure.
Well, you're also
So
setting
I've got to go
yourself up
slowly.
for being unhappy. And
Yeah.
no one can reach their goals if they're unhappy. Look, I am gluten and dairy free, but that is only because if I'm not, I am always in pain.
Right.
Otherwise, I wouldn't torture myself with that.
Well, so my goal is, listen, I'm sure there are tons of listeners out there who, so many people deal with weight issues, and I have been overweight since I was a child. So I can tell you that it was around 5th or 6th grade when the fat jokes started. Okay. So, and I endured that a good portion of my life. In fact, it's interesting. You know how on Bonnie Zane's show, she had said that she had to beg me to do the role of Molly Hudson, which, I mean, let's be honest, nobody had to beg me to do a job. However, in what she was saying was we had lots of discussions. I was 33 at that point. I had been in the business for 11 years. And I would say that probably every single job I had up until then, I always played the fat girl. And it was always about the sight gag or the fat jokes or what have you. And I think I'd come to a place in my life where I was like, okay, I'm going to be the best friend, and I'm the overweight best friend. But I didn't want it to just be about cliche sight gags. Like,
right.
I was 33 years old already. I owned who I was, and I was tired of being a joke.
Sure.
I just wanted, can I just get the role? And I definitely don't look like the beautiful, ingenue. It's clear that I'm the best friend, but does it have to be about weight? And I understood that it was. I just wanted Rob and John. I had talked to them. I just wanted them to understand that I really just wanted it to be about me. And then you can bring up the weight just like I do, in a very self-deprecating way, frankly, because that's how I got through it. I used my humor to sort of disarm anyone who wanted to make the joke first.
And did that start early? Did that start in 5th or 6th grade?
Yeah, not in 5th or 6th grade probably, but by the time I was in junior high, I recognized that I was funny, and so I used my self-deprecating humor to disarm it all.
Right.
Like, yes, everybody, I know that I'm over whatever joke I would want to make, and then I said it. We're done. Let's move on now.
Right.
And that's how I spent most of my life. And so I had no problem on Ed with them having Molly use that sort of self-deprecating humor. Of course, I just didn't want to be a sight gag.
Sure. And then do you feel that, okay, so you say that your humor about your weight is always self-deprecating. Now that we're 20 years in the future.
Now that I'm 52, did you want to just say how old I am?
Now that you're 52,
and
this is a really corny question, but I think it's a valid question. Do you like yourself more now? Can you
Yes, well, how about this? I am more accepting of myself now because, listen, I am 52. I have struggled with my weight since I was roughly 9 or 10 years old.
Right.
I have always,
and I want to talk about that.
I've always dreamt of being a skinny person. I always, I was on Weight Watchers in 6th grade, just so you know, like already on Weight Watchers, and no disrespect to my mom or my parents. They always tried to help me. They always told me I was beautiful no matter what, and always tried to encourage me, never insulted me or made me feel bad for being overweight.
Right.
By the way, genetically predisposed. Father's family overweight, mother's family overweight. Everybody had huge boobs. I mean, like, I was like fucked from the beginning. Like, it was just like, I was going to have tits out to here and I was going to be overweight. There was no escaping it.
Right.
But it didn't mean that my mom didn't try, and she tried to teach me all kinds of different habits, things that she was taught when she was young, whatever. It is what it is.
Did that help or did that hurt?
It didn't hurt. It helped in some ways, but still overweight.
But I meant mentally, like, I think that as a parent.
No, mentally I was, it didn't do me any harm. I don't know if it did me any good. I mean, yes, still to this day, by the way, for the most part, I never eat a sandwich or a hamburger with an entire bun.
Right.
Like, I learned as a child to take off half the bun because you didn't need it.
Right.
And my mom was right. You didn't need it. It wasn't necessary. It tasted exactly the same without it. So I still do that today. There are certain habits like that my brother and I, it's just automatic because that's how we were taught. Like, I never would eat a whole baked potato. I eat half. It's just natural.
Right.
But I don't think it did me any harm. Look, I wanted to be an actress. I pushed through. I was a cheerleader when I was young. I played softball. I was always active. So being overweight never stopped me from doing anything that I wanted to do.
Oh no, you're frozen. God. Friggin' Zoom, man. Les, I don't even know if you know that you're frozen.
Yeah, you're frozen.
Oh,
are we all back now?
Now we're back. I told Garrett to get offline.
Yeah, so Garrett's got to get off his games.
He's off. He's been off.
Weird. Anyways, whatever, it froze. Let's not start over.
No, we won't. We're going to continue.
What was I saying? Oh, what I was going to say was that being overweight never stopped me from doing anything that I wanted to do. I think where it got in my way, like in my head, was when it came to dating, boyfriends, like just having that, it was hard to accept myself because nobody else seemingly accepted me, you know, especially when you and I were growing up. It seems very different today, not entirely, but look, I am not going to by any means compare myself to, like the discrimination that certain races in our culture experience, but it's sort of a silent discrimination. I've been discriminated against for being overweight my entire life. Mm-hmm. I've noticed it all over the country. I remember being in China once and going into Hong Kong, going into a store and wanting to try something on. And the people looked at me and they were like, no, you can't try that on. And I swear I'm not lying. And it was because they just decided that I wasn't thin enough to try that outfit on.
Well, look, and here in America, there are stores that now cater to like size 2 and 4. Like, I can't think of the name of the Brandy.
Oh, yeah. Brandy Melville.
Yes.
Oh, please. My daughter shops there.
Yeah. But and there are teenage girls who shop there.
Yes, exactly. I would never. I have friends. You could fit into those clothes, but I would never
never walk into that store.
But no, you being overweight, you're discriminated against. People literally look at you and judge you solely based on the size of your body.
Right.
Okay. So, and I get it all the time. I think I'm 52 years old. Believe me, I still get it. I know there are people, even in my life, not necessarily any of my close friends, but I know that there are people that look at fat people and think that they're lazy and gluttonous. And it infuriates me because I am the antithesis of that. I am not lazy.
Beyond.
And it's like, fuck you. You have no idea what's going on. You don't know what I eat. You don't know if I exercise. So you're solely judging me based on the way I look. So fuck you. And I can't wait for you to come back in your next life as a fat person. Right. Good luck.
Well, what do you think of like the movement that I feel is sort of happening right now where like
that's palpable.
I mean, like, does that affect you?
Yeah. I mean, like, look I follow Lizzo, for instance, on Instagram, right?
Yes.
And I am amazed.
Yes.
Sometimes shocked at what she's doing. I mean, good for her, because I think the message is, look, nobody's saying that it's healthy to be overweight. It's not healthy to listen. Health comes in all different shapes and sizes. You can be a skinny person and have a heart attack, and you can be the healthiest person I know. So health doesn't necessarily equate to weight. But I mean, I don't know that any heavy person wants to be heavy.
Right.
I don't know. I don't. However, I'm at 52. I just want to be healthy.
Yeah.
And if losing weight is a byproduct of being healthy, then fantastic. Look, you know that like 8 or 9 years ago, I lost a significant amount of weight over a period of a couple of years. I
Right.
lost a very significant amount of weight, and I have miraculously managed to keep off all that weight for the last 8 or 9 years.
Yeah.
Is
Not
that
a
to say
miracle.
that
You've worked at it.
I've worked at it? It's not easy. I could easily gain the weight back,
Right.
but I work at keeping myself right here. And I've been at a steady, I get on the scale and within a little tiny range, I'm always right there in the range.
Right.
And I've been there for 8 or 9 years. And that is an accomplishment unto itself for
Right.
me.
Yes.
Would I like to lose another 30 or 40 pounds even? Yeah, that would be fantastic. But that's not my goal anymore. My goal is to be healthy.
I love. And let's also have this conversation, because you and I have talked before about the fact that you say, like, yeah, would I like to lose 30 or 40 pounds? Yes. But then I always come back to, what will that bring you? Is that like going to bring you instant joy? Is that, no, it won't.
I don't think it'll bring me instant joy. I think it would, look, society still deems thin people, even if you say a little, Kim Kardashian's not some skinny little bitch, but she's still thin. She's just curvy.
Right.
I'm more than curvy. Would it bring me joy? No, I think it would bring me some happiness. I think I'd have more wrinkles on my face, so I wouldn't like that. That just means more Botox or filler. But would it would probably be maybe a little easier to exercise. I don't know. I'm pretty good. I have a pretty good stamina for a lot of things. But let's just go with the obvious, which is the vanity issue of being skinny and overweight. And from that perspective, yeah, like, I'm single. Do I feel like if I was thin, I would be dating so many more men? Yeah, I know. And you're going to say, well, do you want to date those men if they don't like you the way you are now? Do you want to be with them? No, but I would like the playing field to be a little bit fuller,
broader. Yeah.
Broader. I don't know.
I get that.
Especially in LA.
Right.
It's hard not being a thin girl.
I think we live in a place where whether or not, because I always say to you, like, my husband likes thicker women. He does.
And the irony is that he's married to a very thin woman. But
yes, it is. It's bizarre, because truthfully, if I had 25 pounds or more on me, he would really like that. But that's just not my body. It's just not my body.
No.
So,
and it's not your mindset either. You watch your intake of food, etc. You watch yourself, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that either.
Right. But I also try to be really careful, although I don't know if everybody in my life would agree with me. I try to be careful to not let that limit me in enjoying myself or being able to go to a dinner party or,
No, I don't think you do anymore, but I think you used to. I think
I did.
You had it on the opposite side of me. I was obsessed with being thin, even though I never was. And of course, there's that mindset of, well, if you want to be thin, you will. Clearly, you didn't want it enough or whatever. I say bullshit to that too.
Total bullshit.
But you have had issues where, like, you judge yourself and you're plenty thin as the dog.
Yeah,
growling.
He's going crazy now.
Yes. Note to self, never do a show with the dog on your lap.
I've always had body dysmorphia.
Yeah.
And I hated myself for so many years. And looking back, was too skinny, looked ill at times. I don't
remember that, but
I'll show you some pictures.
Okay.
And always thought the opposite of myself.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure sounds obnoxious and stupid.
I know it's annoying to me, but yet at the same time, I understand, because it was like you said, it's body dysmorphia. So Didn't matter what I said or anybody said.
Correct. Did not see myself the way I clearly looked, and it affected me greatly. But I cannot tell you how much of my life I wasted with those thoughts.
And by the way, I too, like, I look back on at a time where I was like, oh, you look horrible, whatever. And I look back sometimes at those pictures and I was like, what was so bad? You didn't look so horrible.
Right.
Like, I mean,
okay, but okay. So what you're saying now, this is a big deal for me, because like what I want to say to you and in turn to everyone is this. If you can look back at pictures from a decade ago when you thought you were horrifying and go, oh my God, I was great. There was nothing wrong with me. We need to realize that we're going to look back on today 10 years from now and think the same thing. So how great would it be if we could just accept
ourselves? I know.
Listen,
and it
doesn't mean you don't exercise.
And I want you, and no, it's, and by the way, let's be clear. This should no longer ever be about weight, skinny, fat, whatever. It should only be about being healthy. And especially now during this COVID time, when we've all had time to really reflect and be home and exercise or not exercise and eat like a pig or not, like, but I think we've realized that even with COVID, I think, you know, like, I'm scared to death to get COVID for a myriad of reasons. And not the least of which is I just want to be like, am I healthy enough to survive getting COVID?
Right.
I mean, listen, are you healthy enough to survive getting, I know that you could get anything.
Right.
You know, but it really has made me sort of stop in my tracks and take a look at things. And I think for the most part, I'm proud of myself in a lot of ways because I am generally a healthy person, but could I make changes? Absolutely. Could I stand to lose some weight? Absolutely. But it is about being happy with yourself. I do look at myself sometimes and think, you look fantastic. But I can then go out to a party and see someone who's thinner and prettier and whatever and be like,
right, man. It's time
it's hard
to
not to
that.
judge yourself. I know, but it's so hard not to. And especially, I'm sorry, we live in Los Angeles and, you know, like, I always feel like if I lived in the middle of the country, I could feel like an 8. You know, maybe even a 9, depending on where I'm living.
You're so that
but here in LA.
Oh,
and you know, by the way, sorry, I know I feel
that's
like
okay.
I always have diarrhea of the mouth.
Ew.
Watching our show back with Julie, when you guys talked about me for a moment when I was gone, and she said, and you both were talking about the fact that I'm always turned the hell out, as she said it. And you say I always look perfect and whatever. I laugh and I chuckle at that because I'm not, but I do hear what you're saying. And I think that is also a byproduct of being overweight. I think for me, because I am not some skinny little thing who can just put on whatever she wants and still look cute, whatever, I feel the need to put myself together probably more than maybe you do or Julie does or whoever, because I feel like not that I have more to prove, but I need to look the best I can look because I'm already, you know, running up a hill, you know, I'm in an uphill battle here. So I got to look as best I can. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. I totally hear what you're saying. Yes, I totally hear what you're saying. And I understand it. And look, whenever I've said to you over the years, God, you look gorgeous. You're like, I'm just wearing black. I just always wear black. And if you just have black in your closet, you could put anything together. And then, you know, you always accessorize and your makeup's always perfect and your hair's always perfect. And look, you're beautiful. You're a beautiful woman and you don't have to agree, but everyone who knows you says it, and not with a caveat of nobody I know has ever said Leslie's really beautiful for a heavy girl. I mean,
but I have, not now. People don't say it now, or if they do, I don't know it. But you know, my whole life, I always got, God, you've got such a pretty face.
I'm sure. Look,
my whole life.
I'm sure. However,
which is such a backhanded compliment.
Absolutely.
And every overweight girl out there listening totally gets it. I'm sure they've heard you've got such a pretty face, which you want to say back to the person, oh, thank you so much. So the rest of me is ugly.
Right.
But I have a pretty face. Thanks so much.
But so there's 2 things I wanted to say. One is when it comes to exercising and all that stuff, what I would love for people to do, 2021, you're going to start a workout program. Don't say, I want to lose this much weight by this date.
No.
Say,
just say, I'm going to try and get on for 20 minutes.
But what I'm saying is change the goals. The
or
goal
change the
should
narrative.
be,
Yeah.
let's say you have a Peloton. The goal should be, I want to graduate to 30-minute rides in 4 weeks. And until then, I want to just get better at 20-minute rides. Or if you're doing planks, I want to be able to do a minute plank in 6 weeks. Whatever it is, if you change your goals to be about strength and power and your heart rate, everything changes. Everything changes because the disappointment goes away. You're not everybody loses weight at the same rate. It doesn't happen.
So what you're really saying is, and it makes sense, if you still want to make goals, making tiny little goals. Like today, I'm going to do a plank for 30 seconds. Tomorrow, I'm going to see if I can hold it to 35.
Correct.
Or at least stay at 30 for a couple of days. And then in 2 days, I graduate to 40 seconds.
Right. But it's not about the scale because
it's tiny. It's tiny little goals. And you're absolutely right.
Yeah. Because also, people get really upset when they're not losing weight. They don't realize, you know what? You just started working out. You're probably hungrier. You're probably eating more. Plus, muscle weighs more than fat. So all of
1,000%. And it's too bad because when you're not, people get on the scale every day. I do that sometimes. But at least I have a good mindset to get on the scale because I know, like, I've been working out. So if I am up, I get that it's probably the muscle I'm gaining.
Right.
I don't fuck with my head that way.
That's good.
But
that was your first fuck of the whole show. Good job.
No, it was like my third.
Oh, that's the first one I noticed.
You'll go back and exactly. I effed you to all the people who judge me for being fat.
Oh, okay.
And I'm so glad. But you're right, because if you make such a huge goal and you're trying to attain this goal that you will sabotage yourself.
You'll sabotage.
It's just inevitable.
Yep.
And I've done it a million times. That's why, like I'm saying, I cannot cut sugar, dairy, and gluten out all at once because I will sabotage myself.
Right.
So, and I can't even say sugar's my biggest thing. And it's not healthy for anybody's body, but for me, I know that it's not healthy for me.
Right.
But I can tell you that I want to try and kick out the sugar as much as possible, but I'm going to go slow. I'm still going to have the little creamer in my coffee that has sugar in it because I know what I can achieve and what is going to make me quit. Because as we've discussed, I can be a quitter.
Right. No, but that's a phenomenal thing for you for anyone to just go, look, I'm going to do I'm going to do better. Just going to do better. That's it. The other thing I wanted to say is this. So you bring up a lot about how men in LA and New York and, if they're divorced and they're older, they want to find a younger girl who's super hot and skinny and whatever.
They sure do.
Okay. And I'm not going to dispute that.
Oh, you can't.
But here is what I find interesting. Because Russ and I have very, very honest conversations about this, where he says, if you talk to pretty much any straight man, they will say they like boobs, they like ass, they don't want a girl that's built like a 14-year-old boy, they want a woman who's built like a woman. Do you think that men out here would be fine with that if they didn't think everybody else wouldn't be fine with that? So they're dating what they think everybody else wants to see them date. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. It's so funny. I'm thinking about, anyways. No, I hear you. I think there was a period of time where the skinny was totally in, like emaciated skinny.
Yes.
I think we've come to a place where we still haven't accepted fat people. I don't care what anybody says. We just haven't.
I agree. I think it's getting better.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, it's getting better. And it's getting better because there's a generation of women, and kudos, who don't give a shit.
Yep.
A Lizzo, she doesn't give a shit.
Yep.
This is who I am, for better or for worse.
Yeah.
I like it. You can like it or dislike it. Fuck you.
Also says, look, I work out every day. She does. She works out all the time. And she's like, and guess what? I'm not doing it to lose weight. And if you have a problem with that, I don't give a shit. So, but
but for me, we still live in Los Angeles where you look is key, or rather how you look, sorry, is key. And so yeah, it is tough. It's tough to date in this city, because it's mostly online dating. Excuse me. And what you look like is literally charging this entire thing. Like, you're going online and you're swiping left and right and doing all of that stuff merely based on how someone looks. Nobody's reading your profile. And even if they were, they can't get a sense of your personality or anything about you. But they're looking at the pictures. And men are, without doubt, visual first. And so are a lot of women. I'm not going to lie and say that I'm not a visual person. I absolutely am. But I think we've had this conversation somewhere, but you can not be the best looking guy, but if your personality comes through and you're funny and you're witty and you're intelligent, well, then I'm wildly attractive to you. And if you know how to use a semicolon, oh my God, I'm really hot for you. You know, I have this weird thing about semicolons. That should be the tattoo I get.
I did not know that, actually.
Yeah, I do. If a man knows how to use a semicolon properly, I think it's really hot.
By the way, a semicolon represents something in tattoos.
Oh, it does? Oh, I think you're right.
Yeah, it has to do with, oh, shoot. I don't want to.
It might have to do with sobriety? Maybe?
No. I'm going to look it up while you're talking.
I think a semicolon is hot. And if you know how to use it properly, then I think it's hot. And
but
I'm
you're
not
saying that men aren't even getting to know that about you.
What?
You're saying that men aren't even getting to know you well enough to know about your semicolon.
Men aren't getting to know enough about me, period, online, and they're going purely on the visual. And I'm just so sorry that I don't, I'm not a size 6. It's just not happening. And it makes it difficult. It's really hard to be single and overweight in Los Angeles.
So just so you know, a semicolon represents mental health. Because it continues a sentence rather than putting a period at the end of it. So it's essentially saying survive, continue, move, keep going.
Awesome.
So I just wanted to tell you.
I love that. Yeah. Well, I might get one but I think it's hot or sexy. And it's a continuation of survival.
Exactly.
That's anyways, so I don't know. Listen, do I own my sexuality? 100%.
Right.
And there are a lot of men in my life who would be like, you come across like you just own it all. And in some ways I do.
Right.
But in some ways I don't,
So it's so interesting because we all focus so much on what we can do to change. I would love for there to be as much practice in acceptance of ourselves as there is in changing ourselves. Mm-hmm. So like, I wish or hope that you could go, you know what? I'm overweight. I wish I was 30 pounds thinner. I'm not, but I'm beautiful and I'm sexy and I'm funny and I'm smart. And I have a super popular talk show with one of my best friends. And so while I'm working toward bettering, I'm going to also practice every day loving this.
Just kidding. I was writing down my, what do you call it? Like the mantra that I need to read to myself every single day.
But really?
But
there's no focus put on that.
No, there isn't. But you're absolutely right. And I want you to know, and I talk about it with my life coach / therapist. I mean, I do. I want to try. I called one of my girlfriends, or I texted her rather, and I said to her, listen, the kids are going to their dad's house and I'm going to be by myself, and I have some sage and I have all this stuff. And I want to, even though it's January 3rd already, I want to start the year in the right way. So I was like, you're my little sensei. Clearly I've been watching too much Cobra Kai. You're my sensei, and I need you to get on the phone with me tonight. And I want you to guide me through some spiritual prayer and thought and all that kind of stuff about what I'm going to do and what I'm going to say to myself and all this stuff while the kids are gone, because I'm going to sage me and the house and just to start the year anew.
Right.
And, so it's funny. I just texted her and I was like, let's talk tonight or tomorrow so that you can guide me. So I'm going to try and get better about this, because I do think that I'm funny, and I do think that I'm pretty. I would never use the word beautiful, but I am rather attractive. So, and I know how to make myself attractive. And I do think a lot of great things about myself, but I'm not going to lie and tell you that I don't think all the other things about myself too.
Sure, you're human.
Person, right? And I'm the first person that I can tear myself down.
Right, and you do all the time, by the way.
I do.
You do little things, like little things.
Like,
that
look
I just
at my roots. Just that,
like
stuff
that nobody would ever notice but you. And look, we all do it. I do it too. But my husband's favorite thing to say to me is, "Can you please stop talking about my wife that way?"
Oh, that's so cute.
I think it's really cute. But eventually, that went on for a very long time, and then eventually, I was like, it's probably not cute. It's probably not cute anymore for him to hear me constantly rag on myself.
No, you know what? I'll tell you something, Lise. Granted, there's nobody living here but my children. I mean, I don't have another adult in the house, but do I rag on myself a lot? I mean, to you, like, you mean when we get on camera?
When we get on camera, when we're on you just say little tiny things. Little things. This and look at why do
I usually do it about my hair.
It's not just your hair. It's everything you do. Little things. I know, but stop.
All right.
Maybe
we can do it. Maybe you can always point that out to me. Like, we'll make a little sign. By the way, it's the new year. We need new signs.
We really do.
I mean, We'll keep a couple of the oldies, but we got to make a bunch of new signs. So you can just go like this, like Lesley.
You're picking on yourself.
Listen, it's old habits die hard.
Okay. So what have we learned? We should all be doing little things to better ourselves. Mm-hmm. Our goals should not be unrealistic. They should not be for anyone else but ourselves.
Correct.
Our goals should really be way less about how we look and much more about how we feel and how we're taking care of ourselves.
I was just going to say number one has to be health. So I don't care how overweight you are or thin you are. You need to take a look at what you're doing, and it's all about health. And let's be honest, there's nothing wrong. Exercise has to be a part of it. I'm someone who sometimes can't go all out working out and food and all that, because again, I'm doing too many things at once.
Right.
I need to make smaller goals.
Yes.
So sometimes what I was going to say is that, I think we all know that a large part about being healthy is probably 80% your diet and 20% your fitness. You can
I don't think that's true.
You don't agree? See, I do.
No.
Because, I have a girlfriend who texted me. We have this Peloton text thread, and I have a girlfriend who was like, "Oh my God, I just, I was so looking forward to hitting my 10,000 minutes on Peloton." She hit her 10,000 minutes. She's like, "I've managed to hit my 10,000 minutes and still gain weight."
Oh, how funny.
So, and I do believe every trainer I've ever spoken to,
I'm not talking about weight though. I'm talking about health-wise, especially over 40, women, and men, people over 40 have to be working out at least 100 minutes a week for your heart and your bones.
Okay. So, and I don't disagree, bones, like lifting, people always talk about cardio, lifting weights is very important as you get older for osteoporosis, etc.
Correct.
But what I'm saying is that I think the bigger part of being healthy, and if it's losing weight again, I think it's more about what you put in.
Yeah, diet's very important.
It's not equally about what you put in and what you put out. It is a stronger about what you are eating, and of course you need to be exercising on top of all that. Right. But a lot of it's about what you're putting in.
Sure. Look, food can either be medicine or it can kill you.
Right.
So
I want it somewhere to be in the middle, because I don't want it to kill me. I don't want it necessarily to just be medicine.
Right.
Because I want my tequila and my vodka to be some medicine.
I think those things are very good for preserving your insides.
Yes. Yes.
I also think, by the way, America has spoken and they prefer us tipsy.
Oh my God, they do.
Yeah.
That's crazy, because I was so dumb. So the things that obviously, and when I put it out on my social media, I was like, forgive me, because I find me incredibly annoying. How many times I was like, spade. Like, I know him.
That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Nobody else noticed that. Nobody else notices.
People don't. Are you sure?
Yup.
The little things that drive me crazy. Like,
Sure, they drive you crazy.
I was so confident that it was Billy Zappa. And then I was like, wait, who's Billy Zappa?
Look, the bottom line is we were both
We need to do drunk.
Julie was probably tipsy, but we were, when you and I watched back the full show, we were exhausting.
Well, I will tell exhausting. I will say, for me, I was definitely not drunk. I was tipsy, but what was behind that was an intense amount of adrenaline.
Right.
Because of everything. So all of that energy and adrenaline on top of being wildly tipsy made for really stupid Lesley.
Oh my God.
And I'm not saying that to insult myself. I mean, people get a little stupid when they get drunk.
And we both did.
And we did. Julie, she kept it together the whole time.
So
and was
good.
Friggin' funny. Anyways, she's such a good sport. I love her so much.
All right. Yes, she was amazing. And I adore her as well. So we're going to go. I think by
the way, I hope everybody enjoys our diet, fitness, weight, whatever conversation. And by the way, I could have this a million more times.
And look, so could I, but I could talk about diet and exercise all day, every day.
Well, if you want to hear Lisa talk about diet and exercise, follow her on Instagram. She'll tell you all about her Peloton story.
By the way, Les, and then we should really go, but I just want everybody to know, because I'm really proud of myself, that I got a B in my statistics class.
Yes. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
I wish I had one of those things to blow. I'm so proud of you, because we were talking about just, if you could just pass.
I just wanted to pass.
You didn't just pass. You got a B. By the way, almost an A, because that was a B plus, wasn't it?
Well, it ended up being, once she graded everything, it ended up being an 83% in the class, but I got a 90 something on my final. I'm very proud of myself.
I'm so proud of you, because that's just like,
it only took me 30 years out of high school and just taking one class at a time to figure out that I'm actually a good student.
You're an intellect.
I'm
proud of you.
I am.
I'm so proud of you. That's very good.
Thank you.
All right. So how long have we been recording?
I don't know. A long time. So let's just tell everybody Happy New Year. We'd love to hear your comments. We're probably going to talk about this again, because maybe we're going to chart Lesley's, not weight, but Lesley's, your workouts. I want to see how much you do it, because you've always used your hair as an excuse, and you're not doing that anymore. And I'm so proud of you.
Are you proud of me? I know. I got
really
on Peloton and just tried to blow out the sweat, and here I am.
You're beautiful. Guys, subscribe, be a part of our community. Please comment. Let us know what you'd like to hear. And join our Facebook page, The Lesley and Lisa Show After Party. And thanks for being here.
Thank you so much. We're off to an amazing year. Julie kicked us off to an amazing year, and here we go. Woo-hoo.
Oh.
Oh no, wrong way.
Lipstick stain on mine.
Happy New Year. Happy 2021.
Happy 2021, everyone. Let's
stay safe and healthy.
Yes, and better than 2020. Love you, Les.
Love you, Lise.